Hi, my name is Lindsay Shifflet, and I'm one of the practitioners at New Thought Community, and I'm honored to be the speaker here this Sunday at our virtual service. I feel so blessed to be a part of this sacred circle that we've created online. And when I say we, I mean the big we, as in the cosmic we, and I also mean the smaller we, as in our community, and all the people who came together to help make this happen. And I give thanks to the band, thanks to Melissa Hunter, thanks to Peg McMillan, thanks to Carol Ann Rubin, once again the band, Gina Hutchings, my practitioner today, Dyla Ray, Linda Ramos. I just love you guys, and we all come together. We make something greater than any one of us could do alone. So thank you. My topic today is transcendence. And when I say transcendence, I mean to go beyond, and I also mean the title of my talk today is Transcendence. The reason this topic came about was because once upon a time, well, at least it seems that long ago, at the beginning of 2020 in January, Reverend Kathy Landis, she asked us to choose a word of the year. And I love words. They're some of my favorite things. I decided to pick a tall word because I happen to like tall words. And if I'm going to be intimate with a word for a year, I should get what I like. So what have I learned? What medicine have I brought back from my journey of discovery? As a practitioner, that New Thought is founded upon the beliefs that were expressed during the Transcendental movement. But what exactly does transcendence mean beyond a standard dictionary? According to Abraham Maslow, transcendence refers to the very highest and most inclusive or holistic levels of human consciousness, behaving and relating as ends rather than means to oneself, to significant others, to human beings in general, to other species, to nature, and to the cosmos. And if you look it up, you will see transcendence is at the very top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. He even has a list of 34 separate meanings in his book, The Further Reaches of Human Nature. I told you transcendence is a tall word. Yet what I see is that the definitions have commonalities, and the difference is scale. On the microcosmic level, we learn to really know ourselves. And then once our needs are met and we can turn inward with an open mind, an open heart, and a willingness to see what is actually there, we can't help but find God. Because wherever we are, God is. And once you see God, you know no other. I found a prayer card today, and it stated that blessed is the man who walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Psalm 1:1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. What does that mean? Once we know that God is all there is, then we know we're blessed. We know there's nothing but blessings. Once we really have an understanding and have met God, we know that. And the thing that we have to work on is our perception, so that we can stop blocking our own good from coming to us. David Bohm was a physicist and I'd say he was a philosophist a little bit too, but he found God through physics, just like John Muir found God through walking in the woods. And he has a theory of implicate order, and he also talks a little bit about, I watched a talk that he had about perception. And when he talked about perception, he explained what he thought a theory is. He said that a theory is a window, a mirror into what is behind or in back of the things, like what we call universal mind. It's a mirror into that. And all theories give us a little bit of a different view because we're looking at a mirror from a different angle, but we never really get to look at the whole picture. It's just like with ourselves, when it's very difficult to see the whole picture, you kind of have to make an aggregate based on all the different views that you have regarding things. Regarding spirit, it's you can't see it head on. You have to look at it through the periphery, the side, or you look at it, it's the subtle energy. And David Bohm, he talks about, he has a theory of implicate order, and his theory is an ultra holistic view. It connects everything with everything. In principle, any individual element could reveal detailed information about every other element in the universe based on his theory. Essentially, the theory is the unbroken wholeness of all existence as an undivided flowing movement without borders. The implicate order stating matter comes from a deeper level of objective reality. This is what we in science of mind call universal mind. His pilot wave theory adds a causal element. He liked to believe that there are no paradoxes in the universe. I saw him say that in an interview on television. And that's why he worked on his theory of everything. And he liked to say, I think his last text to his wife stated that he was on the edge of something. So transcendence is one of those things too. You can only be on the edge of transcendence. And that's what they said about David Bohm, which kind of inspired some of this talk today. There's a special on YouTube called Infinite Potential, The Life of David Bohm. You may want to look that up. And that brings us to the fact that there are no paradoxes in the universe. There's an order beneath all things. The problems are not out there. The universe has zero problems and infinite possibilities. The only problem we have is that we think we have a problem. Okay, well, that sounds great. But how do we change our thinking problem? Because they sure feel real while you're struggling with them, and they are real. As long as they're in your view, we have to change our subjective mind first if we want to release our patterns of problems. And so what do? Well, we look inward, and we also remember that we can reach out to our community for support. We are not alone. We're not alone in the seen, and we're not alone in the unseen. We have assistance. It's there for us. Gina is our practitioner this week, and she's my very best friend. And I urge you to put in a prayer request. If you don't know what to put in, I'm going to give you something to help you get started this week. So you're going to get a prompt for a prayer request. And let's flood our prayer request on our website. It is ntcfresno.org. And let's flood it with prayer requests. Gina loves to do it. And she's very powerful, so be specific about exactly what you think you want, or even if it's something you know you don't want. Sometimes that helps narrow it down. Another thing that we can do is, it turns out that there are some measures in the study of human behavior. And there was one study that I found, and it was titled Self-Transcendence, and Life Stories. And they found 6 areas of commonality where there was contrast, where people with a high spiritual self-transcendence did these things, and there were people with a very low score of self-transcendence who really struggled with these things. And there haven't been a lot of studies done with these measurements, except in end-of-life care. There have been some studies. This study focused on late midlife participants, and it's a way of not waiting till the end of the life. Maybe some of these things might improve our quality of life now, instead of waiting till the end of life to measure it. Let's measure it now and see what that does. So it just identifies some areas that maybe give us a guideline to go by and see where maybe we can improve our transcendence. And let's see, there are 6 areas, and I'm going to read them to you and a little description. But I'm going to give you a challenge right now. Just as Kathy Landis, Reverend Kathy Landis, gave us a challenge in January, I'm going to give you a challenge this October, just until the end of the year, to pick one of these areas and just put it in your prayers. Work on it. Could be your prayer request for today. And I'm going to go over the 6 areas right now. And there's closure, which is the degree to which past regrets form your life in the present. So, do we have regrets? How much closure do we have in our life? Do we feel satisfied with the amount of closure in our life? And the next area is interconnectedness. And that is the degree to which you feel connected to all of humanity. and the people that had low ones. There's 6 things, there's 6 areas that we can look at. And so why would we want to wait until our end of life to look at these areas? Let's look at these areas now. And this study happened to use late midlife participants. That was their age group that they used. But we can all look at these 6 commonalities because I think they're pretty universal. And just as Reverend Kathy Landis asked us to pick a word, I'm going to give you homework too. I'm asking you to choose one of these qualities that you can work on in the last 2 months of 2020. What is one thing, one area that you can improve upon in your life that might help you overall have a happier life? So let's look at these areas. I'm going to list them off, and I'll list a small description, and then I'll list them all again at the end so you can choose which one you're going to do. Okay, so the first is closure, and that is the degree to which past regrets inform your life in the present. So, how much closure do you have in your life? Are you satisfied with the amount of closure in your life? The next area is interconnectedness, and that's the degree to which you feel connected to all of humanity. Do you feel that interconnectedness? Is that an area that you may want to work on? Our third area is lifelong learning, and that's the degree to which you value and engage in informal or formal education throughout your life. Are you growing? Are you learning? Is this an area you want to look at in your life? The next area is secure attachment. The degree to which you feel a warm, secure relationship with primary caregivers. And if perhaps you did not have primary caregivers that met all of your needs when you were a child, you can have surrogates. I have a lot of them for different areas in my life, especially because my family lives really far away. So I find that I have a spiritual family here that helps give me some support that I may not get from my caregivers because they're just in distance so far away. And some people find support through themselves or through higher power. We're all interconnected. So there's a way to develop that. There's a way to work on all of these areas. The next area, which is the one that I've been working on, is self-actualization. And that's the degree to which you understand yourself and your potential, and that you've fulfilled that potential. So that's what I've been working on. I've been looking inward to try to understand myself and my potential, and I really had to look in a lot of mirrors to see, to get a good view of my The next area is self-actualization. That is the degree to which you understand yourself and your potential, and that you have fulfilled that potential. And that's the area that I've been working on, is just really trying to understand myself. And that can be layered, and it can take a while. Sometimes I don't know, I really have been peeling off layers for quite a while until I finally feel like I'm getting some clarity. And it will come, but we get things that we're ready for. So as we open our mind to greater possibilities, you will be shocked to know how much things can shift in your life. One of my other nicknames, besides Alice, is Let It Shift, because my last name is Shifflet. And Reverend Connie gave me that name. And I try to follow that. It's my mantra of let it shift. And if you make room for it and you let go of some of your expectations or your conditioning, you really can just see changes you wouldn't imagine in your life and shifts that happen. What really starts to happen is that God starts to come to you instead of you searching for God. And that's a great shift in perception that can change your life. So our next area is spiritual pluralism, which is the degree to which you endorse personal spirituality paired with the belief that such spirituality is available to others, regardless of identity or beliefs. Is that an area that you need to work on? Okay, so there's 6 areas. There's closure, interconnectedness, lifelong learning, secure attachment, self-actualization, and spiritual pluralism. Which one of these areas are you going to enrich for the next 2 months? Reverend Gina Hutchings, she's waiting for your prayer request. Please submit it to us, and we can all work on self-transcendence together. This is from The Science of Mind, page 154. Every day and every hour we are meeting the eternal realities of life. And in such degree as we cooperate with those eternal realities in love, in peace and wisdom, and in joy, believing and receiving, we are automatically blessed. Our prayer is answered before it is uttered. And 6 years ago, when I started this journey of discovery, my larger journey of discovery, I found this book called The Blue Cat of Castletown. And it's a simple little book. However, it really profoundly had an impact on me. And I'm going to close today. It's actually a song, but I'm going to recite it. And it's about self-actualization, which is what I'm working on. Sing your own song, said the river. Sing your own song. Out of yesterday's song comes. It goes into tomorrow. Sing your own song. With your life, fashion beauty. This too is the song. Riches will pass and power. Beauty remains. Sing your own song. All that is worth doing, do well, said the river. Sing your own song. Certain and round be the measure. Every line be graceful and true. Time is the mold. Time the weaver, the carver. Time and the workmen together. Sing your own song. Sing well, said the river. Sing well. Namaste.